What would you do if the very people you trusted most, your own family, stole the one thing that wasn't even yours to give? This isn't just about money. It's about betrayal, survival, and finding the courage to break free from chains you didn't realize were around your neck. My name is Lena Walker, and this is how I discovered the price of family loyalty, and what it cost me to finally stand on my own. I was standing on the worn wooden floor of my parents' dining room when it happened. The evening light filtered through half-open blinds, dust swirling in the air like tiny ghosts. I had just finished my shift at the logistics firm where I worked in IT support. My phone buzzed in my pocket, and when I pulled it out, the screen glared back with a number that made my stomach twist. Balance. $500. $15,000. Gone. My chest didn't pound with panic. It sank, heavy, like a stone hurled into a frozen lake. $14,000 wasn't just my savings. It was the lifeline for someone else. Money entrusted to me by my co-worker and friend, Mia Turner, who was waiting for a kidney transplant. That fund had been raised by people who believed in me to hold it safe until it was transferred to the hospital. And now it was gone. From the kitchen I heard laughter, loud, unbothered, cruel. The kind of laughter that wasn't meant for me. It was about me. My name is Lena, I'm 28, and this is the story of how I stopped being the invisible daughter, the quiet one, the reliable shadow, and learned just how dangerous family can be when they see you only as a wallet. At family gatherings, I was always the one they forgot to thank, the one pouring water, clearing plates, fixing Wi-Fi issues, while everyone else sparkled under the lights of my parents' approval. My mom, Diane, loved to call me her steady rock, the quiet one who never caused trouble. My dad, Rick, said I was the glue holding the family together. But glue isn't meant to shine. It's meant to be hidden while everyone else stands tall. And then there was my younger brother, Evan, 24, talented with a guitar, the golden boy who filled every room with his charisma. To my parents, Evan wasn't just their son, he was their star. He was the one who deserved chances, who got bailed out of speeding tickets, who got new sneakers when he destroyed mine. When I landed a scholarship to a tech program, they barely noticed. But when Evan dropped out of his music school, they threw him a party, celebrating his bravery for following his heart. I kept telling myself it didn't matter. I had my own life. My tiny, one-bedroom apartment with peeling wallpaper, a thrifted couch, and shelves stacked with books I loved. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine. I was used to being invisible. But that Saturday night, as I dropped off groceries at my parents' house, I felt something shift. The air smelled of steak and chili, but underneath it was something sharper. My dad was whispering into his phone about a big break. My mom's eyes flickered when she saw me, as though she was holding onto a secret too sharp to reveal. I set the bag of limes on the counter. "What's going on?" Diane's smile was too sweet, like frosting over poison. "Oh, Lena, we've got a surprise for you." Dinner unfolded in its usual chaos. My dad flipping steak, Diane fawning over Evan the second he walked in, guitar slung over his shoulder like a crown. They laughed about his upcoming gigs, about how proud they were. I sat quietly, passing bread, pushing food around my plate. Then Diane turned her attention on me. Her eyes narrowed in on me like a spotlight. "Lena, honey, we've been talking. You're too quiet. Always hiding away. We think it's time you step into the light." I blinked. "Step into the light?" Rick leaned forward with his signature grin. "Yeah, kiddo. Stop sitting on your money. Live a little." I thought it was just another jab at my frugality. I forced a smile, but Evan leaned closer, his tone smooth. "You're always in the shadows, Lena. Maybe it's time you share the stage." My stomach twisted. What stage? What money? Diane patted my arm with nails painted cherry red. You'll see soon. It's going to be big. And in that moment, I knew trouble was coming. The next morning, my phone buzzed with messages. Diane, get over here. Big news. Rick, hurry, Lena. You're gonna thank us for this. Evan, you're gonna love what we did. My gut screamed no, but I went anyway. Their house was decorated with streamers, the smell of coffee and pancakes in the air. My dad wore his weekend apron like a chef about to host a celebration. My mom's eyes glittered as she grabbed my shoulders. There she is, our heroine. Heroine? Then I saw it. On the counter, Diane's tablet sat open. And there it was. My bank account, drained to zero. I staggered back. What did you do? Rick raised his mug in a toast. We fixed you, Lena. No more hoarding. We moved it where it could make a difference. Bali, sweetheart. We're going to Bali, and Evan finally has a tour van. Isn't that exciting? Evan twirled the keys to a used van like they were trophies. Thanks, sis. Couldn't have done it without you. The room tilted. That wasn't my money. Diane froze, her smile faltering. What? It wasn't mine. It was Mia's. My coworker. She's sick. She needs a transplant. People donated that money to her. I was keeping it safe until Monday. You stole it. Silence. Rick scoffed. Don't be ridiculous. Why would anyone give you that much money? Because they trusted me, I snapped, my voice rising for once. They believed I would protect it, and you just burned it on your schemes. Evan's grin cracked, his keys slipping from his fingers onto the table. That's a bit dramatic, don't you think? I pulled up the bank records, transfers, one by one, $8,000 to Diane, $4,000 to Rick, $2,000 to Evan's card. This isn't drama. This is theft. For the first time, fear flickered across my mother's face. We'll pay it back. Don't make this a big deal. No, I said. My voice was ice now. You have 8 hours. Put it back. Every cent. Or I go to the police. Rick towered over me, his face red with rage. You don't give us ultimatums. I'm not asking, I said, meeting his eyes without flinching. I'm telling you. 8 hours. The house fell into a tense, suffocating silence. You'd betray your own family? Diane hissed. I clenched my fists. Family doesn't betray me first. By nightfall, the money was back. Not out of remorse, but out of fear. I transferred it to Mia immediately, my hands shaking. When I apologized, she didn't cry or yell. She just said softly, "Thank you for being honest, Lena." Somehow, her forgiveness hurt worse than anger ever could. I changed every password, locked down my accounts, built walls of security around my life. I still saw my parents and Evan, but something was different. The chains were broken. I wasn't their anchor anymore. I was free. 6 months later, I stood in my own tiny apartment with sunlight streaming through the windows. A stray cat I'd adopted purred on the couch beside me, a quiet reminder that I could choose who I gave my love to. My parents still tell anyone who'll listen that I abandoned the family. Evan posts pictures of his gigs, still chasing a spotlight that doesn't shine as bright as he thinks. They paint me as the villain, the selfish one who chose strangers over blood. But I know the truth. That money wasn't mine. It was Mia's chance at life. And no matter what my family says, I can finally look at myself in the mirror without shame. Because sometimes breaking free means burning bridges. And sometimes it's the only way to survive. So, tell me, if your own family stole something this important, not just money, but someone's hope, could you forgive them? Or would you draw the line forever? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget, follow Tales Between Time for more stories that cut deep into betrayal, survival, and the choices that shape us.